Welcome to Less Than Ideal 20s with your hosts Katelynn and Alexis. On Less Than Ideal 20s, we chat about life as 20-somethings and try to figure shit out along the way. Today we are talking about first loves and what we learned from those experiences. So Alexis, how has your process been thinking about it, brainstorming this topic?
Well, very nerve-wracking, to say the least, but mostly I didn't want this entire episode to fully revolve around this shitty person.
Yeah.
And I really wanted it mostly to be about, growth, what we learned, and the red flags and what to avoid. So I did a lot of brainstorming and thinking, made me less nervous, but still a little nerve-wracking talking about personal feelings and that, and wondering if this person is still watching me on social media. But how has it been for you?
Well, I mean, at first I didn't even want to do it because I was like, oh no, I was literally just having not even, I don't know if I would consider it a breakdown, but I recently had a moment where I was just thinking about that time period when I was at my lowest low, during that breakup period. Because it doesn't come up often, but if it does come up, it definitely makes me really emotional.
Yeah.
To the point of tears or just eye-watering.
I know, all the feels come back.
Yeah, if I really
feels.
think about it. And I'll go more into why that still, I don't have to, I'm not explaining myself. And just like Alexis said, it's all about our personal growth through our past relationships and what we learned and how we kind of navigated our way through it and healed from it, and how we came out much better people through such what we would consider quite a shitty experience.
Oh, yes.
Not the whole relationship. I at least to say from my part, it wasn't I'm not saying the whole relationship was shitty. That's not my thing. Again, I'm not here to be starting beef, drama, shit. It's not what this is about.
The tea without the tea.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not to be because again, this is, we're talking about this all in retrospect. I feel that's important to mention. We are, looking at it from the outside. And I just want this to be for people. You could be in a relationship, you could be out of a relationship, you could just be curious about our past relationships and what we learned from it. I feel it's important to recognize that every relationship is different. And I don't think there's a right way to go about it as long as you feel safe and you feel healthy. And again, it can be really difficult to navigate that, as we'll go into more in depth. But yeah, this is about our personal growth. Let's get that straight from the jump.
That it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. And yeah, let's just jump into it. So, Alexis, tell us about your first love.
Ooh, darling. Well, again, it's first love. It was the first boy that not really found interest in me, but I actually felt comfortable enough to introduce to my parents. And he was somebody that obviously I liked him, and it was new and fun. And I was I never had a real boyfriend before. Oh my goodness, this is so cool. And I guess a lot of it started as not knowing how to be in a relationship, not knowing what was the right steps, what was the wrong steps, and just kind of following, as dumb, I guess, as it sounds, what the movies tell you to do, what online tells you to do. And all that movies online, everything portrays is the honeymoon every single time. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's what I thought it was always supposed to be. Always happy, always perfect. endless flowers, perfect dates, like the guy always pays for you first. But that's not how it always was. And again, I was so young. This was back, I think, my junior year of high school. I just turned 16, going on 17. And he was my first boyfriend, like real boyfriend. And it was really cute at first, you know, getting actually asked to be his girlfriend, you know, still having to ask your parents' permission to go out on dates.
Aww.
Like, oh my gosh. And, you know, having him come over to my house, like that's never happened. Like boys were such a no-go in my household that it was weird, you know. And growing up, we weren't allowed, you know, I wasn't allowed to have boys in my bedroom, like nothing. Like boys weren't allowed upstairs. Like we were chilling on the couch watching Netflix or like eating dinner with the fam. Like that's hanging out at home. But anyways, I wanted to kind of deep dive into a lot of things that weren't healthy in that relationship because it was such a first love what I thought was love at that point in time. And so a lot of that was we were constantly fighting, but because I didn't know what kind of relationship I was in or how to be in a relationship, I thought that it was completely normal. I thought that it was okay to have a pros and cons list of a man's you were with, and it wasn't. And I thought it was okay to always feel so insecure about myself and all these things and never have my feelings validated by somebody else. And it wasn't.
Amen.
I thought a lot of things were just normal because I didn't know how to be in a relationship. Not saying that I wasn't ready, but just because I never was shown what healthy and not healthy was, which is very concerning, but I'm glad that I did have that relationship because I wouldn't know like what is healthy and what isn't. But yeah, it was constant fighting. It was never feeling good enough. And even when we were doing things and being together, it always felt like I had to be approved of, or like I was always wanting something more out of a relationship or just someone validating my feelings, and that wasn't happening.